So today we're going to talk about a couple of elements that make reggae sound like reggae, the different rhythmic characteristics that make reggae what it is. Two basic elements I want to talk about today. One is the one drop beat. It's the drum set beat that's used in reggae. And two is the skank. And we'll get back to the skank later, but first I'm going to talk about the one drop beat. Let's compare the reggae beat to the normal rock beat, which is probably the most popular drum set beat on the planet. It's used in pop, rock, blues, just about every form of music. All right, so now we're going to look at the rock beat. We're going to start with the ostinato, and for the drum set, in this case, the eighth note ostinato acts kind of like a ruler or a tape measure to help the drummer know where to line the bass drum and snare drum parts up. This time I'm going to use a simple eighth note ostinato, which is the most common ostinato in drum set drumming. In rock or hip hop, whatever, it's the pop music. It's the most common drum set beat that we're going to play right now. It starts with eighth notes on the hi-hat, going 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Let's start the beat. Here's the hi-hat playing eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Let's add the bass drum. Right now it's playing all four downbeats. Let's emphasize the downbeats on the hi-hat to give it more of a downbeat kind of rock feel. Now here comes the snare drum, the backbeat. Now instead of all four on the bass drum, we'll just play the bass drum on 1 and 3. Then you can do variations in there, but that's your basic beat. All right, so now let's look at the one drop reggae beat. It's a more syncopated beat, and what we mean by the word syncopation is to accent a weak beat. When you look at eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, the downbeats 1, 2, 3, and 4 are stronger, while the ands are weaker. With the reggae beat, we tend to accent the ands more, and that's part of that's where the skank is played. It's on the and to give it that upbeat feel. So we're going to look at the one drop reggae beat, and inside of half a measure, if you count it in 4/4 time, if it's not in cut time, in one measure, the bass drum only plays one note in the main beat. In 4/4 time, you'll have the bass drum played on 2 and 4. So instead of having the bass drum playing at the front side of the beat on 1 and the snare on 2 playing the back beat, having the counterpoint between the bass drum on 1 and the snare drum on 2, boom, bap, boom, bap. Instead, you're going to have the bass drum playing on 2 and 4 with the snare, and with the hi-hat accenting the upbeat, you're going to have 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4 and. So they're accenting the weak beats now. 1 is the strongest, 2 is not as strong as 1. The ands are weaker than the downbeats. So this is a more syncopated beat, and that's why I find this one particularly fun. So let's play the one drop reggae beat. So now we're going to start with the ostinato. Start with eighth notes. Here comes the bass drum. Now we're going to accent the upbeats on the ostinato. Add the snare drum on 2 and 4, just like the rock beat. So far it's the same as the rock beat, except for the accents on the upbeat. Now we're going to drop the downbeat on the hi-hat and just play the upbeats. Now let's move the bass drum to playing on 2 with the snare drum. Now the snare drum is often too big through verses and stuff. It's too big of a sound, so we're going to switch to a side stick. And now you can play some variations inside of that, and that is your one drop reggae beat. One drop reggae. Now the skank. So now we're going to play the skank, and the skank is one of the rhythmic elements of reggae. It's one of the most important rhythmic elements. It's the upbeat. What I mean by upbeat is when you look at eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, we're talking about all the ands. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and it goes like this. Here's the count. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And that's it. All right. So now let's listen to the beat again, the one drop beat. We're going to add the skank to it. And we're also going to add the bass line to it. So where the drummer is emphasizing the 2 and the 4 and the 1 drop beat, he's dropping on the snare and bass both land on 2. On the front side of the beat, on the 1, the bass player is playing more. So that gives you the downbeat, so you know where that is. So you can feel the downbeat, and then you can feel the syncopation of the 1 drop. All right, so let's look at the 1 drop beat with the bass line and the skank.